Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. My name is Liz, and here on this channel I love to talk about all things beauty, especially perfume. Whether you guys are watching me for the very first time or you're returning, thank you guys so much for watching. I truly do appreciate you. In today's video, you guys, I am going to be giving you my thoughts on some fragrances I've been testing, letting you know if I think they're full bottle worthy or if I am going to pass on the fragrances, at least for now. So let's get into the fragrances right after we do today's affirmation, which is I am thankful for my past experiences because they have helped me to evolve, and I have to keep that in my mind each and every single day. Now let's get into the first fragrance, which is actually a fragrance that I have a full bottle of. This is Kayali's newest fragrance, Fleur Majesty Rose Royale 31. Mona will always get an award for a beautiful fragrance bottle. This is just absolutely gorgeous from the head to the toe. When I first smelled this fragrance in Sephora, I did not care for it. But I know that when you smell fragrances in the store, especially for Snif when it's first released, that doesn't really give you a full picture. So when I got this fragrance, I took a paper towel. So I got this from you, Veronica. I took a paper towel, I sprayed it on the paper towel, left it in my bedroom. I returned later, and the room was just filled with this beautiful, fruity, sweet rose fragrance that was a little powdery. And you guys, that smell lasted all day on that paper towel. Not just all day, for days. So the longevity on paper was phenomenal. My bedroom smelled amazing. Wearing this on skin was an even more pleasant experience. There is pear in this fragrance. To me, it is not a juicy pear. It smells like a pear that's not quite right. And then you have this beautiful rose and peony type of vibe, and it's powdery and it's sweet. And the dry down, you guys, with the musk, oh, phenomenal. I am so glad that I got to experience this outside of smelling it in the store, because this is a pretty girl fragrance. I wore this the day before Easter. I sprayed it on around 11 a.m., left my house to go get my hair done, and then we had our family dinner the day before Easter. I was able to smell the fragrance on me for about, I don't know, 6 hours. I got a compliment on it as well. I returned home about 9 a.m. On this particular day, it was cold outside, so I had on a sweater, a thick sweater. When I took my sweater off, it was like the fragrance said, I'm free. And I was able to smell this beautiful, sweet, powdery, musky fragrance with hints of rose in it. And I said, oh my gosh, this is amazing. It's like she was trapped under the fragrance on my skin and just released herself in the air. Absolutely gorgeous. Longevity is phenomenal if you care about that type of thing. When I took off my sweater, I was thinking to myself, you know what? This is going to really shine in the warmer weather when I have on short sleeve shirts. Speaking of shirts, you guys, can you see my shirt, Peace, Love, and Perfume? I got this from Jamie from Not Another Perfume channel. Hey Jamie, got my shirt, girl. I should have ordered a small, but I was thinking to myself, when I have on short sleeves or strapless or strap dress or tank top, the fragrance is really going to do its thing because it's going to be free out in the open to do whatever it wants to do. This is definitely one worth checking out. Kayali Rose Royale, no, Fleur Majesty Rose Royale. I feel like that was a long explanation about the fragrance, but it is really good. The next one, you guys, is Guava Granita from Ellis, Brooklyn. I have seen this fragrance all over social media. Everybody is loving it, giving it praise. I do not own a bottle of this. However, I've smelled this in Sephora at least 3 or 4 times on different occasions, trying to decide if I want it, not just going in the store smelling it on a tester. I actually sprayed it on my hand, walked around the store, because I'm one of those people, when I go into Sephora, I just can't come in and leave. I have to walk around, see what they have, as if something has changed from the last time I went in there. The second time that I sprayed it on my hand, I walked around maybe 20 minutes. I was at Sephora and Kohl's to return something. So I left the store, went to the counter to return the item, and the lady, she looked at me like I'm ready to go home. It was late. But all of a sudden she said, "Oh my God," she just perked up. "You smell so good. What is that?" I said, "Oh, thank you. It's Guava, Granita." Told her about the fragrance. She said, "I really love that. It's sweet, but it's not too sweet. That smells so good, girl. I might get that." I said, "Okay, girl." I said to myself, "Okay, Guava, Granita, not you getting compliments from me spraying it on my hand 2 times. That's all I did." So the fragrance is a compliment getter. There is some projection going on. Easy to love fragrance. Not for me though, you guys. I have tried a few times to see if this is something I should at least get a travel size of, and it just smells so sweet. It's creamy. I'm getting that vibe. It's tropical, creamy, but it is overly sweet. Even though the lady at the counter said it's sweet, but it's not too sweet, I feel like it's too sweet for me. Kind of how eating juicy apple was just too sweet for me. It reminds me, please, this is probably an unpopular opinion, but it's my opinion. It reminds me of a Bath and Body Works spray that I've smelled sometime in the past. I cannot remember which one, but it's giving me that vibe. I didn't get it. I didn't get a travel size. Now, I will say, just like I didn't like how this smelled in the store, I am really considering getting a travel size to wear it fully on my skin out in the elements when it's warmer outside, to see if I change my mind. I'm very particular when it comes to fruity fragrances, and if it's not a lot of florals to support it, at least to my nose, I don't like it. That's just what I've discovered about myself. So Guava, Granita, for now I'm passing on her. But like I said, to be fair to the fragrance, I'm going to get a travel size and wear it, and then I'll let you guys know what I think. I actually don't have high expectations for the fragrance, just to be honest. Next fragrance, you guys, is 724 from the house of Mason Francis Kurkdjian. I have wanted to smell this fragrance for years, ever since it was first released. Something about it just told me that I was going to love the fragrance. I almost brought the inspired version from Juliana's Perfumes, but I said no. I want the real deal with this fragrance. So I was blessed to get a sample. Now, when I first sprayed it on my hand the first time, I was in the house working. I just sprayed a little bit on my hand. I smelled it. I said, "Oh, this is nice. White floral, kind of clean fragrance." I wasn't really moved by it. A few days later, it was a nice day outside. I had some errands to run, so I decided to wear the fragrance, to wear it outside the house to see how it was going to do. I got in my car. I was sitting there doing something. I don't know what I was doing. But all of a sudden, you guys, I was met with the most beautiful, clean, soapy white floral fragrance that I've smelled in a very long time. I said, oh my gosh, this is great. I love it. I knew I was going to love you. I said to myself, this smells like luxury soap. Then I remembered I watched Giselle here on YouTube from GB Fragrances, and she did a clean soapy video. I think that's what it was called. And I remember her saying that 724 smelled like Dove soap. So Giselle, if you see this, yes, it smells like Dove soap, but to me, it would smell like if Dove soap had a privé line or a private collection, more of an upscale Dove soap. If white florals in here are not heady, I just thought that this was the cleanest, soapiest fragrance, and I absolutely want a full bottle of this, and I shall have it really soon. So I've reached my budget for the month of April. We're probably going to bring her into the fam in May, June at the latest. 724 from Francis Kirkshine. Next fragrance, you guys, is Montale Arabian Musk. When I first smelled it, it reminds me of Montale's Sweet Oriental Dream. It's just not as powdery, and in that fragrance you have sweetness from honey. And the Arabian Musk, I think the sweetness comes from dates. Both of the fragrances have almonds in them. I don't remember all of the notes, but obviously Arabian Musk is more muskier than Sweet Oriental Dream, but they're definitely siblings for sure. I really like that fragrance. I actually tried to get a full bottle when I first smelled it. I couldn't find it anywhere in the United States. I know that it is available now, and I plan on getting a bottle sometime in the near future. I think it's a very nice fragrance. Arabian Musk from Montale. Next one, you guys, is Patiala from Thameen. I know she's had her moment in YouTube, but we're just getting acquainted, and I've had the sample for a long time. The first time I smelled it, I said, oh, this is nice, but it was really cold outside, and I thought to myself, maybe this will work better in the warmer weather. When I sprayed that fragrance on, I wore it to work, actually. I didn't spray a lot because I work at a hospital and I didn't know how it was going to perform. I can see why everybody loves that fragrance. It is absolutely gorgeous. To me, it smells like a sophisticated, fresh rose fragrance. Not super fresh, but fresh. Sophisticated grown woman rose fragrance. As it dried down, I said, uh-oh, I know this dried down. There's oak moss in here, and it reminded me of, what's the fragrance? My eyes are closed. Greenwich Village. You guys know I decluttered that fragrance. The oak moss was too much. It also reminded me of Baccarat Rouge 540. However, the way that the oak moss is blended in with the other notes, it's not super strong. I love it. It is just the right amount, at least for the sample. Gorgeous fragrance, long lasting. I can still smell traces of that fragrance on the sweater I wore to work. I was actually sitting on my couch working, and I had that sweater on, and I kept smelling myself. And I said, oh, you smell really good. I said, wait a minute. This doesn't smell like whatever perfume I was wearing that day. I don't remember. I realized it was the sweater, y'all. I said, oh yeah, Patiala, you're gonna have to come on down like on The Price is Right, because I need that fragrance. It's just the way that it warms up on my skin and everything blends together. You guys, I'm not an expert, but I can tell you that is a rose fragrance. If I had a signature scent for a rose fragrance, that would be a contender because she, like I said, she's sophisticated, she's grown, she has her life put together, and I feel she can get some compliments. Beautiful fragrance. Patiala from Thameen. Next one, you guys, is one that has been sold out. It is the latest release from Louis Vuitton, Fetish La Rose, or is it La Rose? I think it's La Rose. You guys, that perfume right there, I'm not gonna even create this long painting a picture for you guys. That is a beautiful rose, dark cherry kind of tart fragrance that has some personality and power to it. Very long lasting fragrance. I drove from the state of Indiana to the state of Missouri, and I'm talking about a 7-hour drive because it was raining, tornado warnings. I was scared for my life, praying the whole thing. When I tell you, spraying it on my hands, it's only had a little 3 ml sample, so it's not like I sprayed my body down, just the hands right here. She rode with me. It was me, La Rose, and Jesus on that trip because Lord have mercy, I was scared for my life. The perfume lasted the whole time. If I have a full bottle of that baby, you will not be able to tell me anything while I'm wearing that perfume because I can feel it, that I'm going to shut it down. I feel that she is a seductress. You know, she's not one of those loud in your face, trying to, like, you know, she's trying to seduce you. She's subtle about it. You can feel her presence without her being loud. That's what I'm going to say. I'm wondering what type of magic is Quentin Beach doing, because he's just putting out these great fragrances left and right. I personally think that fragrance is worth all of the hype. And you could possibly see me with a bottle. You could. I'm just telling you. The next fragrance, you guys, is Utopia from Tumi. And when I revealed that I had this fragrance, someone commented, I can't wait to hear your thoughts because I wanted to try some Tumi fragrances. So this top is tricky. It's magnetic, but okay, there it is. You gotta play around with it. When I first smelled this fragrance, I said, I know it. It's this sweet, powdery vanilla fragrance. And it was tickling my brain because I knew that I smelled something like this before. I went in my bedroom staring at all of my perfumes, trying to figure out which fragrance does it remind me of. None of them. I couldn't place it. Later, I don't know if it was the same day or the next day, I went into my bathroom, my main bathroom. And when I walked in, I smelled it. I knew what it reminded me of. This smells like Skin Potions Yummy, which I absolutely wish they would bring back. It was a limited edition. And I have the body scrub, so every time I walk into my main bathroom, it smells like the body scrub. Can y'all see that a dent is forming in this fragrance? When I tell you, I think about this fragrance constantly. You guys remember Immature? Constantly. I think about wearing this all of the time. I can't get it out of my mind. I'm not gonna sing the lyrics, but This is probably one of the best vanillas I've smelled this year. It is not a loud vanilla fragrance, but I feel like people will definitely be able to smell it on you. What I really love about this, okay, let me tell you, to me this smells like a powdery vanilla fragrance. However, there's some jasmine in here, you guys. And the jasmine is so subtle that I almost missed it. I actually did miss it the first time, but the second time I wore it, I picked up on it. She's just there saying, yeah, I'm here. She's kind of in the background. It's not loud, it's not indolic. It's more on the sweeter side, and it makes this fragrance not just another vanilla gourmand, in my opinion. You guys, I have noticed about myself, I'll talk about it more in a different video, but I can't do just a straight up gourmand fragrance anymore. It has to have some florals, some woodiness, something. If it smells just like straight up food, I can't do it. I said I was going to talk about it in another video, and here I am, but this is so good. And for the price, especially if you get it on discount, a lot of times it will be on sale at So Avant-Garde for 40% off. Tumi may have it for 40% off, or even 30% off. This is worth the money, and in my opinion, you can wear this all year round. I don't know why people are not talking about this. I've heard people talk about other Tumi fragrances, but I haven't heard a lot of talk about Utopia. And this, I love this fragrance. This is a 10 out of 10. Okay, so far, you guys, I've liked all of the fragrances I've sampled, with the exception of Guava Granita. The jury is still out. So the last fragrance I'm going to share with you guys today is Glossier You Fleur. When I saw it was being released, I think I was on my no-buy, but I was really intrigued, especially because the bottle was purple, and purple is my favorite color. So I went into Sephora, you guys, one day, and after the no-buy, and I sprayed it on this hand and Guava Granita on this hand. No, I sprayed Fleur on this hand and Guava Granita on this hand. And when I first sprayed it, I said, ugh, this smells weird. I don't like it. So I'm walking around Sephora, and I was actually shade matching myself for some tinted foundation. I took notes because I wanted to give you guys the full experience of what happened to me when I wore this fragrance. I had just finished work. I freshened up for the night, took my shower, all of that. And I was laying in bed. I think I was reading or reflecting. I have a lot of stuff on my mind. Who doesn't, right? But I put this in my phone as I'm laying in bed, and I'm smelling something sweet with hints of fruit, almost banana-like, musky, powdery. Yes, I'm so glad I put this in my notes. A little buttery, very intoxicating and addictive. And I don't know if it was because of what I was thinking about, or if it was just that the fragrance captivated me so much. I became really emotional smelling this fragrance, and I got butterflies all in my stomach. This fragrance, I told you guys, it reminds me of amber vanilla, but it also, after really wearing it on my skin, it reminds me of Letta Oris 22 out of all of the other fragrances, because that's what I was thinking. I said, wait, this isn't really so much amber vanilla, Kayali Musk 12, those kind of fragrances. This smells more like Lettuce Oris 22. This is beautiful. I've never had a fragrance that made me so emotional. I felt happy. This is what I put in my notes. Happy and calm at the same time. Not everybody likes this type of scent DNA, but this is part of my fragrance personality at the moment. I am discovering that I really enjoy iris and orris notes and fragrances. I like that musky ambroxan type of vibe in a fragrance. It just does something for me. I know some people don't like it. It smells synthetic and that type of thing. But for me, oh shoot, it's late and I'm going to go to bed after I film this video. Well, I think I'm gonna film one more. But you guys, this right here is beautiful. This is a 10 out of 10 in my book. If you like Glossier You, if you like Leto Orris 22, those types of fragrances, I would really suggest trying this out because it's really good. I know there's apricot in here, I believe, and osmanthus or either or. And I'm not an expert in anything when it comes to perfume. I'm still learning, but I don't have a lot of fragrances with osmanthus or apricot. But when I looked it up, that is the sweet vibe I'm getting. And I think that those notes combined with I think there's ambroxan, there's something musky in here, and the powdery iris. This is beautiful. Love this fragrance. Gorgeous. Let me know in the comments if you guys have this fragrance. Tell me what you think. I think this is it's majestic. It really is. Calm and happy at the same time. Oh my gosh, I could go on and on. Okay, you guys. So those are the fragrances that I've been testing. I'm going to be doing more of these videos because I have so many fragrances. I'm trying to make a real effort to not just reach for my full bottles, but really test out my samples and my decants. For some reason, let me know if this happens to you, if you're still here. And if you're still here and you like the vibe and the video, hit that like button. Subscribe to the channel if you're not subscribed, and share. Get the word out. Tell them Naturally Liz is here and she loves to have fun on her channel. But, the fragrances, Lord have mercy. I have a habit of reaching for full bottle fragrances because they're full bottles, and my samples get kind of pushed to the side. I don't want to do that anymore. I really want to experience the samples to see if I like a fragrance enough to bring a full bottle into my collection. So let me know if you're a person that has a lot of samples. Do you have a hard time reaching for them because you prefer the full bottles, or fragrance is fragrance and you don't care, you're going to use what you have and make it work? Okay, you guys, that's the end of the video. Until we meet again, remember how blessed and highly favored you are. Stay safe, and I will see you guys next time. Bye.